Yes.
Coffee maker.
I'm everything.
You to me are everything.
Hi there, welcome back to our YouTube channel, and today it's really something amazing. Please subscribe if you haven't yet subscribed and follow our story. I'm sure it will bless us all out there. It will bless someone in an interracial yet an age gap, marriage or relationship. Thanks for coming into my channel today. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Anyways.
I'm not a social media person.
Yeah, he's not a social media person. So I want to know,
What?
how has marriage been?
Hard work.
Over the past 5 years? Or just for the records, we've been together since 2019, and by the grace of God, we are still standing and we are still continuing to stand. Yes. What?
So we're sitting down, we're not standing. This is what our marriage is like. This is not put on for the cameras. This is what it's like.
Well, how has it been?
It's hard work.
I know, right?
Yeah. It's no harder than living with someone, but the challenges are different.
Mm-hmm. Like
travelling, it's like this time when I came, you have to get the flight, you have to get the visa, you have to get the time off work.
Mm-hmm.
Then it gets the day and you think, I really don't want to do this journey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that anxiety.
Because, and sort of people think, 11-hour flight, great.
Mm-hmm.
But then you've got an hour to get to the airport, you've got to be at the airport 3 hours before the flight.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't really sleep on the plane even overnight. And then the time I get here and we've got through immigration in the car, I'm exhausted. So the first 2 days aren't much fun. All I want to do is sleep.
I know.
Yeah.
But also the financial aspects of it has been another really challenging thing. But I'm glad that we've overcome them every single time,
The financial challenges aren't just about the relationship, they're about the business as well.
Yeah, but putting aside the business, but looking into the relationship, the fact that you're meant to be spending money at every given time that you're stepping out. That's the first thing. You've talked about flights, etc. Costs within Uganda itself, where they see a white man, it's a whole different.
That's kind of understandable though.
I've
I've never resented that when they blatantly try and charge you a lot more, but when they try and charge me 10,000 more, that's cool.
It's cool with you. It's not cool with me because I believe you're a normal person, just like any other person out there.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I just look at it that some people don't make a lot of money, and if they can make an extra 10k out of me, that's fine.
And then, of course, the fact that also we are handling a business together from a distance has been also one of those things that has been quite.
Yeah, but in reality, we talk about the finance of the relationship. The relationship without the business would be rocking and rolling financially. When you set up a business, you put in an investment, and that investment doesn't come back immediately.
Yeah.
And people might say, "Oh, you're doing really good. Look at all your stock." No, having all that stock actually makes us poor because that stock is stock. It's not money. It's just stock.
Like money is always floating.
Money's always floating. There's always money going in, and I can look at the business and say, "Yeah, we've got a figure off the top of my head that bears no resemblance to reality. We've got $30,000 worth of stock." Well, we're not wealthy because we've got $30,000 worth of stock. We haven't got $30,000. We've got the stock sitting there, which is taking money out of the relationship.
Yeah.
But then I always think that I'm not a great believer in, especially when there is an age gap, and I've said this to you before, that when you get someone who there's not a massive age gap between us, it's big, but it's not massive. But I see young girls in relationship where there's a bigger age gap, and the man provides everything. He pays the rent, he pays the food, he pays for the car, he pays for this, he pays for that, and then he dies, and then the girl's left with nothing, and she ends up back in the village.
Yeah.
Whereas to me, it makes much more sense to invest in that person.
Mm-hmm.
So they've then got the financial security. So the person is not 100% dependent on me,
Mm-hmm.
because although the business might need to be done differently,
yeah,
it could still exist without me.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? It's a horrible thing to say.
I know.
But I really think when these old wrinklies like me waltz into a young girl's life and just say, "Oh, I'm going to take you out of," and part of it to me is also, if I'm blunt, it looks like they're treating the girl like a bit of a charity case as well.
Mm-hmm. And I feel that is a bit selfish of them to actually just, keep pouring out the money without, doing something, without having them do something productive. Because I've realized one thing out there, and I have so many people around me who are in, interracial marriages. Generally, you get the impression that they always give out there is, everything is smooth, it's this, it's that, it's the other. But when the reality hits, when someone sits down and starts confiding in you, you will be shocked at some of the things that, they talk about. Yeah.
I just think it's really wrong for a man to make a woman dependent on him. And I know that in some cultures that is seen to be the right way, but to me it's not. You've got to coexist in the marriage, and you've got to have a certain amount of dependency on each other. But when it's like almost financially one way, and that's fine. But one of the things I've done when we got married, I took out a life insurance policy, a special one, so you would get the money if anything did happen to me. But a lot of men won't do that because they won't think of it, because they won't think, oh yeah, my partner's in Uganda. They don't think of the differences.
Yeah.
So the business idea was an investment in as much as if anything happened to me, Imi would be okay. And also when I'm a really old wrinkly, I might just get a pension out of it. See, I say something serious, he just doesn't stop laughing. It's so annoying.
Oh God, you're just too funny. You're just too funny.
I'm just stating facts.
Oh well. Other than that, I think marriage has also given me a great platform to learn a lot. Yeah, there are a couple of challenges that I think I was more of an alpha kind of female.
In other words, she wants her own way. Nothing.
I had
changed.
always wanted everything my own way.
I did it my
I do
way.
listen. I do listen now, right?
It doesn't sink in.
I do listen now.
Sometimes.
Yeah, so it got to a point whereby I had to kind of tone down a bit,
I think you did initially.
I had to tone down, really. I had to calm down, and I'm like...
Yeah, but it's crept back.
I had to let you win on some things, because if I kept going with it, hey, this would be a war zone.
Yeah, I know, but if I talk business, and I use business as an analogy, I had all the knowledge of being in business and being managers for these big multi-million places. And initially, if I hadn't controlled that business, it wouldn't have worked. But then as you learn and you realise that what I was saying was actually right, even though you argued with me every step of the way, now the business is in a point, and you're at a point where I just say, you get on with it.
And I'm doing it really well. So I've learned a lot when it comes to, personally, self-growth has been a great thing as well. Business-wise, you have really taught me so much. And everyone looks at me like, how did you handle this? Because you know how much we started from scratch. It was tough. So I've learned...
because I wasn't convinced it would work at first. Yeah, I gave you the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. And I remember that word when I say, okay, let me do this. Watch me. I'm glad you gave me the space. That's the only one thing I think I really want on.
What was that?
The business starting.
Oh, yeah.
But
then
I'm glad.
You got to remember that the market that we're in, I don't have much experience of Uganda. I've got experience of business, but not of Uganda. And I know that the business we've got would not work in the UK because there's so many different people doing it.
So, well, personally, growth has been a great thing. But you've generally seen how things have changed over time. Well, all in all, marriage has been a great learning space for us, and we thank God that He has brought us this far. Yeah, you're a wise man. I will say that.
Wise old man.
Wise old man with a bald head.
Stop it.
And I just want to say thank you for molding me into the person that I am today.
I've done a terrific job.
You did a good job.
I know.
Though I wasn't that easy.
But you're not that molded.
Huh?
You're not that molded. If you're going to mold someone, you should be with them. You make little adjustments so that you share your talents with them. You don't mold them.
Thank you. I hear you.
You don't mold someone.
But you've made me learn so much.
That's different. That's different.
You really made me learn so much.
That's different to molding.
Can you stop teaching me English in my own
Okay.
here?
I'm going to go and get some crisps.
I'm done for the day. So thank you so much for being on this particular one. I hope you're still around to keep being on more and more.
See, she knows I'm the talent.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.